Hi, I'm Philip Duncan. Thank you for joining us. Well, the westerly change has arrived and it's going to get a bit squally as we head in towards Tuesday afternoon, evening and Wednesday morning, and that's as a burst of sort of west to southwest winds come in with some heavy showers and isolated thunderstorms. So this is how it looks on the wind map. You can't miss those westerlies. They're coming through from Australia. The whole country has them. The north is perhaps a little bit windier than the south is, and that's because the air pressure is a bit flatter down towards the lower South Island. But up towards the north, you've got a good squash zone of wind between the lower air pressure just off the west coast and the big high that is parked over Australia right now. Bad news for them with the drought that's been declared in New South Wales, and they've just got consistent dry weather right now up there. But down towards New Zealand, we're south of the highs and we're in the windy westerlies. And so this low pressure system crosses over Tuesday night and Wednesday morning around the country, and we'll end up with showers and a change to colder or cooler south to southwesterlies just briefly before the west to northwest winds return again. So it's really up and down this week. On Thursday, we're back to the west to northwest winds. They tilt more northwest in the North Island, and it's fairly dry in the North Island as well. But in the south, the rain does return, but in eastern areas of both islands, it should be warmer than average. To Friday, and the next area of low pressure moves across the country. The westerly is still blowing through with another cold front. So we do end the week on a bit of an unsettled note. But if you're down around Southland and Otago, and even to some degree South Canterbury, you will notice the weather improving towards the end of the day, and it should be a pretty nice start to the weekend. Saturday looks like this. High pressure just to the north of New Zealand, spreads a ridge down, and it to some degree brings a settled Saturday to the South Island. But it won't linger too long, because waiting out in the west is the next front and the next burst of sort of rain and wind. The North Island still got the cooler change behind it, so a bit of a south to southwesterly wind for the North Island. That'll be fading away. Saturday does look pretty good. Then we get to Sunday and the winds tilt more northwest in the North Island, in fact actually both islands to be honest, and that will lift the temperatures up in the east and the north. In fact, it'll lift up the temperatures everywhere, let's be honest. The rain clouds will arrive on the west coast later on, and then once we get to Monday of next week, look at this, how messy is this forecast? Another big low, the big highs well to our north, stuck over Australia, stuck in the sub-tropics. It brings a wet, showery nor'wester to the North Island, a westerly to the South Island, and behind it could be a cold southerly around Tuesday, Wednesday next week. Finally, we haven't had one this month. So there we go, that's the forecast for the next few days ahead. Lots of westerlies, a few cold fronts coming through that will bring rain to the west coast, snow to the South Island mountains, and even the Central Plateau mountains to some degree. But generally speaking, we're above average temperature-wise this week, but next week we might be getting a cool down. That's all from me. We'll update you again tomorrow with the latest.